48 Hours has uncovered new details in the murder of a Manhattan millionaire. Police suspected Howard Pilmar's wife was the one who committed the crime with the help of her brother. Now, more than 2 decades, this happened rather 2 decades ago. The case remained unresolved, though, until this year. And Richard Schlesinger looked into this murder mystery for 48 Hours.
It was Friday morning, March 22, 1996, when Howard Pilmar's body was found in a pool of blood on his office floor. He had been stabbed repeatedly. Former NYPD commander Roger Perino.
A good percentage of the stab wounds on the back were all post-mortem.
After he was dead?
Yeah, after he was dead. I want to make sure you're dead, absolutely dead, completely and utterly dead.
Who could have done this to Howard? Who would want to kill my son?
His father, Frank, and stepmother, Carol.
He was stabbed over 40 times. It had to be somebody who he knew that hated him so much.
It looked like Howard and his wife, Rosalind, were living really well. They had a young son, and Howard was expanding the family's office supply business, selling high-end coffee.
Starbucks before Starbucks was
right.
Starbucks.
That's right.
Frank Pilmar suspected Rosalind had something to do with Howard's death. Police learned she was in trouble with a former employer.
She had embezzled a large sum of money.
And there were 1 or 2 surprises about Rosalind's brother, Evan Wald. When detectives interviewed him, he had cuts on his left hand. He said he got them when he was working at Howard's coffee business.
Did they look suspicious to you, given that this was a stabbing?
So the cuts don't look suspicious. The individual starts looking suspicious.
It was beginning to look like Howard's murder could be a family affair. But police did not make an arrest.
Years went by, they never found the weapon, and they never had a witness.
But after 2 decades, the family's nanny finally revealed what she knew about the night of the murder. And that's when everything changed.
All right, so Richard's here with me now. So a whole lot of suspicion, but 23 years go by and nothing happens. Why is that?
It's a very tough case. They've been focusing on Rosalind Pilmar and her brother for all that time, but the prosecutors were always afraid that there were alternate explanations for the evidence that they were finding. They were worried the jury would find reasonable doubt.
So you want to have an airtight case.
Yeah.
So what made the NYPD and the prosecutors take a second look at the evidence then?
Well, this was part of a new cold case squad that the new DA started when he was elected. And they've looked at a lot of interesting cases. This was one of them. And this was a high priority for them because this case had been languishing for 20 years or more.
And obviously they felt they had good suspects,
but all this time, the police were I think were pretty frustrated by this because they really thought they had this down.
Yeah.
But the prosecutors have to agree, and finally they did.
All right, Richard, looking forward.
There was
to
some new evidence, though. Let me be a little.
Oh, you leave me with that little tease. You know I'm going to watch 48 Hours. You don't have to do that.
I hope you do.
All right, thank you very much, Richard. So you can watch Richard's 48 Hours report, Who Wanted Howard Pilmar Dead, tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central on CBS.